Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Agajanana Padmarkam Gajananam Aharnisham Anekadam Tam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe. Welcome to all for this session on Ganesha Purana to chapter 42. This in which we will going to explain the description of the battle between Tripura and Lord Shiva. Now, in the last chapter, we have seen after request from all the gods to kill Demon Tripura, Gajanana turned himself into the form of a Brahmin, named himself as Kaladhara. He went to the assembly of the Demon Tripura and praised him, saying that his place was the most majestic and celestial and much more wonderful compared to even Brahmaloka or Vaikuntha or even Kailasa. And with that, the arrogance of the Brahman Tripura got boosted. And then he asked Kaladhara, can he, with the mastery of the on the arts, whether Kaladhara can make him the most celebrated and the most richest in the whole world. Wondering at his wish, Kaladhara told him, what else you would like to have? Because you have everything that is available across all the triple worlds. But even then, Lord Gajanana has something to offer him. So he created three cities made of gold, silver, and iron, which are floating cities and have all the wealth of the world and heavenly musicians and floating. And he gave those three cities to Demon Tripura. But then he gave him a caution. If any day, if all these three cities are pierced with a single arrow, there will be a problem for you. But by that time, Demon Tripura had forgotten the boon that was given by Lord Gajanana to him, in which he was told that he will one day going to own three cities, three floating cities made of gold, silver, and iron. The day the three cities are pierced with a single arrow by Hara, Shiva, Shankara, and that day Tripura will going to die. But by this time, because of the arrogance, because of the self pride, he had forgotten the caution that was given by Lord Gajanana. Now, when Kaladhara asked him, he wanted to get the small Ganesha idol which is there in Kailasa, which is worshipped by Lord Shiva himself. He immediately proclaimed, saying, the Lord Shiva is like my servant, so I will get you that Ganesha. But with that, an enmity will be established between Lord Shiva and Demon Tripura. If you remember in the past, when Demon Tripura went to Kailasa and shaked it, that did not establish any enmity between them. Lord Shiva gave him the boon and offered him his own Kailasa, and then he went to Mandara mountain. But now, if he take away the small idol of Gajanana, which is worshipped by Shankara, Shankara cannot tolerate such a kind of arrogance. So now, on hearing this story, Vyasa asked Brahma, what did the demon do after Kaladhara had gone? Was auspicious Chintamani image the name of the Gajanana statue which was there in Kailasa? The Chintamani image given to him after it had been brought? Tell me everything in detail, O four faced Brahma, as I remain dissatisfied with just a brief hearing of Ganesha's wonderful games. Brahma explained him the story after he had gone. O excellent sage, the demon did everything that I am going to narrate you. Listen attentively, O sage. He sent two messengers to Shiva, who was on Mount Mandara, and he ordered them as follows. After you have reached Shiva, respectfully declare this command of mine to him. It is not about paying respect to Lord Shiva. Respect, it's I am who is much more powerful than them. So with that arrogance, he is saying, respectfully declare my command to Lord Shiva. In your house there is an auspicious image of Chintamani, which gives all wishes. Shiva, you are husband of mountain's daughter. Give it willingly to the demon king Tripura. The demon was forcibly brought into his own house. Every conceivable things in heaven, hell, and the world of men. What is extraordinary? So he has captured everything precious, everything extraordinary across all triple worlds. Now, what I am commanding, what demon Tripura is commanding to Lord Shiva is to give the Chintamani Vinayaka, which will give all the wishes. Bring the image quickly, O God, as we are going back to that powerful demon. This is what his messengers are saying. If you do not give it willingly, the bold demon will seize it by force, causing you to suffer the pain. After Lord Shiva had heard the messenger's speech, Shiva was seized with anger. And thinking that the two of them were only messengers, he said to those two messengers, I will overlook your speech. I'm sure you would not like to be turned into ashes like Kama. Once long back, Manmata, who tried to win over Lord Shiva, was turned into ashes. But now Shiva is not doing it to them because they are just the messengers of the demon. The messengers need to go back and give the message to their Lord. So, what's to be done with that demon who is but a straw to me? A piece of straw. If he wants to die, he should come to me, and there will certainly be a battle. Even in 100 lives, he will never going to get that Chintamani image. When the fire of destruction be abated in the sun, what can a person who has fallen from Meru do if he only has the strength of a mouse? Could the ocean be dried up by the loss of its countless drops of water? Let anything happen. Even if ocean dry up, even if the Mount Meru falls down, even if the fire of destruction started abating in the sun, whatever happens, I will never give that Chintamani image to anyone. It is an image of Lord Gajanana worshipped by myself. That's what is the message given by Lord Shiva to Demon Tripura. Brahma continued the story. After they had heard Shiva's speech, the two demons left as they had come. They told their master the statement of Shambhu as he had uttered it. After the demon heard that, conversant with the import of such statements, blazed and flamed with fiery anger, almost scorching the triple world. He ordered his own army with its four corps to make ready for battle, and the army hastily appeared opposite Mount Mandara. Being unbounded like the ocean, he covered the earth's surface with hordes of swords, which, when unsheathed, looked like many suns, and it was roaring like a ferocious cloud, causing death's heart to shake. After he had mounted the triple city that resembled an aerial vehicle, which was huge yet rapid as thought. It was flying with the speed of the thought. The demon then left itching for a fight with Shankara. He wore a large, splendid, jeweled suit of armor, as well as earrings, armlets, and garland of pearls, rings with seals on them, and a golden girdle, the precious diadem crown. he wore was radiant with its embedded jewels. His great roar shook Shiva's heart, and with his bow and quiver, a shield of tortoise shell, a massive sword, and a celestial dagger, the bull of demons looked resplendent. Hosts of apsaras and heavenly musicians were singing and dancing, while bards and wandering singers went joyfully in front of him to the field of battle. Shankara, having heard from a messenger's statement that the demon had arrived with his uncountable armies, which were itching for battle, and they were drawn on by death, the trident bearer, after he had worshipped, bowed to, and circumambulated Dviradhanana, and had placed him in front of that huge army due to his power. His eyes burning with anger, he came from his own home to the battlefield, where heroic soldiers with their powerful voices were roaring in every direction. When they advanced with their weapons, each wishing to kill the other, and both armies clashed, armies of the demon and the armies of Shiva clashed in the confusion of dust and gloom, without knowledge of who was their own people and who is among the enemies. Both fought in vain of battle, and a tumultuous battle ensued in which nothing at all was known. Blood of slain warriors, charioteers, horses, and elephants lay on the earth, and once the dust had settled, warrior fought individually with other warriors. Some used the darts, some used the stones, some used the arrows sharpened on a stone, while some used the spears, some fish, and others used lances and axes. Warriors, horses, and foot soldiers were slain there, and a river of blood shining with hairs resembling the green moss plant appeared, and it was adorned with tortoise like shields. That means the hairs were resembling the green moss plant, and the shields were resembling like the tortoises in that river, or river of blood, and the daggers were looking like the fish, and the heads which were floating, the heads which were cut off from the bodies, they were floating in that river of blood like the lotuses. It also carried headless bodies resembling the trees and umbrellas, which were like whirlpools to vultures and jackals. It brought ecstasy because when a fighting happens, lot of dead bodies would be there around, and that's a time of celebration for only the vultures and the jackals. And for the heroes, it was a cause of satisfaction as they are fighting with each other. But once he had seen this river, the powerful Shiva, the lord of mountains, went straight up to the demon, and the demon himself, mounted on the Tripura, the three floating cities, went straight up to Lord Shankara. Then, after they had seen their own leaders came into contact, the others came in pairs, and the demon troops and Shiva's troops fought each other in a more orderly way, using many weapons, celestial daggers, swords, and tree trunks. I will briefly tell you the name of these battles. Thus ends the 42nd chapter of Upasana Khanda of the glorious Ganesha Purana, in which the demon had irritated Shiva with his forcible commanding and arrogant request for the Chintamani Vinayaka, for which, as expected, Lord Shankara refused. And with the refusal, the lord of the demons declared a battle against Lord Shiva, and Shiva's troop and the demon's troop clashed with each other. Let's see what is going to be the result of this battle. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.